All right, well, welcome everyone. Let's go ahead and get started with Stretch with the Leader today. We have Dr. Karyn Springer with us. Um, what is your title, Dr. Springer? I had it for a moment and then it just left my brain. So,
No, I'm the Assistant Vice President for Medical Education for Intermountain, and then also the Associate Chief Medical Officer for Primary Care for the Canyons region. So I know it's a very big mouthful.
you have a broad reach, that's for sure. Well, I'll go ahead and turn the next few minutes over to you, Dr. Springer, for the Live Well moment. And then, am I leading Stretch today or are you leading?
Okay, so we're going to have to do it again where I can lead the stretch because I was thinking this was at 10:30, so I was trying to get set up for to be able to lead it, but I just didn't have time to get it set up to do it. So invite me back some other time and I will lead the stretch.
Okay, I'm happy to lead it. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
To you.
Yeah, so, and Cami and I actually worked when I was the medical director over the Live Well Center in Utah Valley. So I've known Cami for quite some time, and we've had some fun. And so I was glad that she reached out to me, I guess a month ago or so, to kind of join this. And so thank you. So one of the things so I'm a family medicine physician, and I'm also board certified in lifestyle medicine. And really what that means is lifestyle medicine is kind of built on pillars of lifestyle, which we include physical activity, diet, sleep, stress, and avoiding risky substance use. And so that's kind of the big pillars. And so I just thought I would pick one of my favorite things to talk about around physical activity. And so I am someone who I didn't do this really growing up very much, but as I got to be an adult, I recognized how important physical activity is, exercises, and really tried to figure out ways to embed it in. And for me, it's first thing in the morning, because if I get up and doing stuff, whether it's with work or with my kids and stuff like that, I always think, oh, I'm going to come back to it. Like on a Saturday, I'll go back and do that later. Then I never do it because life gets too busy. So a couple of things that I have really tried to do and I wanted to talk about today is actually something that's really affected us, I think, especially since we had the pandemic and went virtual a lot. And I know we have all sorts of different people on this call, and I think all of us probably find ourselves sitting more. And that, I think, is what I wanted to talk about, because I find that sometimes, even though I have a watch that will sometimes remind me, oh, it's time to move, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been an hour, I haven't moved, that I have a stand-up desk, and so but I'll find that I will be standing almost in the same place that my watch will still tell me to move. And it is crazy. When you look at studies in terms of the average sitting that we do per day as adults in the United States, it's between 8 and 12 hours per day, which if you just think about that, that's through work, that's just, after work. And if we're not really conscientious about moving, then we might find ourselves doing that. So why is that a big deal? Unfortunately, there have been a lot of studies that show that the higher your total daily sitting is, the higher risk of heart disease and diabetes you have. And so it actually really does affect our health. And while the risk of that is higher if you're not doing any physical activity, if you still sit for 8 to 12 hours a day and exercising an hour a day, you still have increased risk compared to someone who doesn't sit that much. And so the risk gets better if you're being physically active and you're sitting, but it doesn't go away all the way. So from my perspective, I've tried to think, okay, well, what can I do? Because obviously within my job, often we have to be with a computer or connected. And so I've thought of some things that I try to do. So everyone who knows me and is on meetings with me knows I have a no camera rule before 8 or 8:30 up in the morning. Yes, thank you for standing up right now. Okay. And the reason is because most of the time, if I'm on a 7 o'clock meeting or something like that, they all know I'm exercising. I'm doing the meeting either walking on my treadmill or on an elliptical or doing something, and that's just established. My boss jokes with me and says it's just because my hair's not done at that time, but he really knows why. So that's one thing. I've also encouraged people who I meet with, where if I might have a one-on-one, and if it's really nice outside, is, hey, can we do our one-on-one, just you go on a walk, I'll go on a walk. And so we'll do exercise together during our one-on-ones and have our conversation. And so those are some things that I think just setting that up and encouraging it. And I feel like as my role as a leader is to say, yeah, to give space for people to take care of their physical health. After all, we are a healthcare company. And so I think those have been really helpful things for me in being like my own life, but also being an example for others. The other little small stuff, if you're with people, it's so easy to just send a quick text or Teams message or whatever. But if you have the time, get up and walk to their desk or, just kind of move rather than sending that email. And that can be just something really small. Using your watch to remind you to stand up. And the whole risk of sitting really goes down if you at least can walk for 2 to 3 minutes every 30 to 60 minutes. And so if that means you put a timer, a reminder, or, kind of set those things from your meeting perspective, that's what you want to, that's okay to do. I think those are all great things for us. And really, I think it's really all about this. And this is why I'm talking about this, because I hope that you never have to go to the doctor for this reason. Can you see my screen okay? It's not a rash, it's moss. You need to start being more active than a tree. So I hope that I never have to see any of you for this rash, and that you never have to go in, because you will all have remembered that to start moving around is important, and to stop sitting quite as much is important. So anyway, that's my little live well moment.
Thanks, Dr. Springer. You have always been a champion of wellness. So thank you for continuing to do so and giving us some evidence around physical activity and also some tips and tricks as well. So that's very helpful. Appreciate it. We will move on to our stretch part, interrupting our sitting with a little standing and movement. And you can leave your camera on, Dr. Springer, if you want, or you can turn it off. Either way is totally great. I'm going to spot.
Yeah, my problem is I have no space behind me, so I think I probably, if I'm going to do the stretch, so.
Okay.
But I did see someone's hand raised, so I'm not sure if that's something you ask or I'm not really sure how that works.
If there's a question, please pop it in the chat, and we will answer that way. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. All right, everybody, let's get up and start to move. Now, Dr. Springer had requested yoga today. So that is what we are going to do. We're going to do a little bit of yoga. So take your feet about narrow hip width apart. Line your feet up straight. Let's bring our hands to our heart. And from right here, let's do 3 deep breaths. So just big inhale, expand the belly. And exhale. Another deep breath, expand the belly. And one more breath. All right, let's take a big inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, hinge from your hips, softly bend your knees, hands come to your thighs. Fold forward part way, and then inhale, straighten your arms, look forward. And then as you exhale, fold forward a little further. Take a big inhale, arms come out, reach up. Exhale, hands move through the heart and come back to your thighs. From here, we're going to move through some supported cat-cows. So as you inhale, pull your shoulders back, lift your chest forward, and as you exhale, round through the back, send the tailbone down, look down at the floor. We'll do 2 more like that with your breath. 1 more big breath, cat-cow. Find your neutral spine again. Take the arms up, inhale. And exhale, hands come back to your thighs, and we're going to move both hands onto your left thigh. Right leg steps back into a lunge. You get to choose how far back. We just want to keep knee over ankle just so it's not going forward. So if it is, just move your knee back a little bit. So we're pushing through on the back toes. If you feel secure and stable, bring your hands to your heart and lift your spine. And if you want, move into full warrior one by arms coming up. We're going to move into a warrior two. So turn and plant the back foot, your hips open a little bit. Left arm goes forward, right arm goes back. Roll shoulders down and back. Engage your back glute. And then we're going to straighten the front leg. Start to reach your left hand forward, your hips move back, and your hand ends up either right above or right below your knee, just not right on top of your knee. So right arm is reaching towards the sky. Take another nice breath here. Arms come back up, front knee bends back to warrior two. We're going to reverse our order now. Hands come to your heart, rotate on your back foot, back to your lunge. Step the right foot forward and hands move to thighs. Knees are bent again. Now let's do the other side. So both hands move to your right leg. Left leg steps back. Lunge. If you feel secure and stable, bring your hands to your heart. So our back heel is still up. Take a big breath. Moving to arms up if you feel okay with that position. And we're going to turn and plant the back heel. Right arm goes forward, left arm goes back. Roll the shoulders down. You might feel your thigh starting to work a little bit more. Squeeze the back glute. Let's straighten the front leg. Hinge from the hips. Drop the right arm, left arm goes up. Let's pause for a breath. Now we're going to reverse out of it. Warrior two. Front knee bends, arms reach out. Hands come to your heart, rotate on the back foot. Step forward, hands come to your thighs. Take a big inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold, maybe all the way this time if you want. Inhale, come part way up, hands can be on your legs. Exhale, fold. Pause here for a couple of breaths. Keep your knees soft, just don't lock them out. Inhale, arms come to the sky. Exhale, hands come through your heart onto your thighs. So knees are bent here. We're moving into a chair pose. So you can keep your hands on your thighs for support, or if it works for you, bring your hands to your heart. Now we're going to notice our feet for a second. Lift and spread your toes, and then place them back down on the floor. And lift the arches. So you can lift them by pushing your weight towards your pinky toes. Feel the arches lift a little bit. Maybe go a little deeper into your chair pose. Take a big inhale, stand up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come part way up. And exhale, fold, pausing for 2 or 3 breaths. Big inhale, arms reach all the way to the sky. And exhale, hands come to your heart. Let's take our feet out just a little bit wider. And take a big inhale, reach up, grab the left wrist with the right hand and start to pull over to the side. Maybe even shift your weight a little bit more into your left foot. Release the arms, inhale back up, grab right wrist with left hand pulling over. Release the arms, take another big inhale up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Now move into your chair pose, and our legs are a little wider here. We're going to shift our weight into our left foot. Lift the right heel. Pause for a moment. Roll the shoulders down and back. Drop the heel. Come back to the center. Shift your weight to your left foot or your right foot. We just did that. Lift the left heel. Drop it back down, come back to the center. Take a big inhale, reach up. Exhale, release your hands. And you guys are all done. Thanks for joining me today.